Hello friends, welcome to our channel DS Tech Mirror. This is part 8 of our SPFX tutorial series. In this video, I will cover the create, update and delete operation on SharePoint list using REST API SP HTTP client. Please be noted that I have already covered the read operation in my earlier part. This is part 7. In part 7, I have covered how to read all the titles of my list present in my site collection, and then we populate the titles of the list in Office UI Fabric drop-down. So this video is in continuation of my part 7. Those folks who are directly watching the part 8, I will request them to go and watch the part 7 because I have covered the basics of the SP HTTP client and REST API in my part 7 as well as the read operation. So in this video, I will cover the create, update and delete. So let's get started. So guys, I want to create the create functionality. For that, I will create a create button. User will select its list of the drop down, click on the create button, and my list item will get created in the selected SharePoint list. For that, I have to create the button first. We will use Office UI Fabric drop down button. So I'll say button. So this is my button. This is Office UI Fabric button. With a capital B is all the UI Fabric control. So over here you can see auto import from Office UI Fabric React. So I will select it and just close it. So this is my button. My button is ready. Now what I have to do, I'll give my text for the button. What text I want to prepare. Sorry, what text I want to give. I'll say create list item. Create list item. So this is the text which will appear on my button. After that, I want to give on click, that I will write in a moment, and apart from that I don't think so anything I require. So what I will do before that, before writing my method, I will put some styling on this button so that it looks good. So for that, I will go to my style files and I will create a class for this button. My style file is this SCSS file. I will write all my styles under this dot my styles. This is for my drop down, and next is for my button dot button. I will say my button. I'll replace it dot my button so that it will be easy for me to understand. Inside my button, what I will give, I'll say width. Okay, what I will do for now, I will give over here not width. I will give margin left. Definitely margin left I have to give, and then first I will show you how my button is appearing, and only after that I will be giving more style. So let's say margin left 10 pixels. So just now I have given this style now, and I will put this class name in my button. So just class name equal to inside curly braces styles dot class name, and class name is my button. So this is also done, and now control S. Now I will show you how my button is appearing. I will put certain style over there, and then we will move on to the on click button functionality. So I already covered this event like on click. I already covered in my previous videos. So we will use those concepts only. I can see reload, refresh. Now I will be seeing a button created over here. So you can see over here, you can see this create list item button. I can see. So this is another thing. So now I want my edges to be a bit curved. So what I will do, and also I want to increase this margin left. So these two things I want to put. So what I will do, I will go back into my button styling file. So styling file is SCSS file. Over there I will give the say 20 pixel but margin left, and for the curve I'll say the property is border radius. So border radius I will give 15 pixel. So these two things are done. Now again, because why I'm what I'm doing, I'm showing the result of each and every property, because because with each functionality, with each control, you will feel some styling issue. So I just want to cover all the things in my demo. Otherwise, to complete the CRUD operation is very easy. I could easily show you the code, but I want to, in this demo only, I want to cover many things. So now I will refresh my page, and you can see it is looking good now. I will increase the gap between my drop down and list items. So what I will do, I will give to my drop down some padding. That is, I will give padding 10px, and that's it. So now and first of all we'll complete that on click method because that is important, and then I will see other things. So guys, now I will write on click. So to write on click over here, just press enter on click. So this is my on click. I told you equal to, and then this curly bracket. Now inside this I will call my method. So I will write my method in my service file. So let's just write the structure of my method. So this is my, over here I will write public method create list item. So we already know that we have to pass the context. We need the context from my component file, and also I will be needing the list title, because drop down I will select the list title, but I have to read that list title from the drop down. So these two things I will be required. So what I will do, I will create the parameter over here for the method. So my method parameter will be context of type web part context and list title of type string. So these two things I need. Now from there I will pass it on click. So this dot underscore sp operation dot get, sorry, create list item. And now in the property, now I have to provide the parameters. I told you in my last video that to provide the parameters, if I have to provide the parameter, what I will do, over here I will provide the context and the list title I will read. For now I will, let's say, hard coded it, but still I'm getting an error. So I told you the syntax in my last video. You will go over here and just make it a arrow function, and error disappear. So guys, to provide the context, I told you not this dot context, this dot props dot, because in the properties I have dot context. So now my method is also ready. It just, I have to using REST API, I have to create the list item over here, and it is done. And from here what we will do, we will pass a message. We will pass a message over here to my button, that message that list item got created successfully, and will display that status message in my web part. So these two things are remaining, but first of all I need to read the drop down value, selected drop down value I have to read, so that I can pass it from here. So for that, what I will do, for that I will write a method in my drop down. So whenever user select a value in the drop down, it should automatically get read. I want that functionality. So what I will do, on change, I will write a method over here, let's say get list title, and I will write that method over here only because we need it. So above component mount, I'll say public method name is get list title. So this is my method name, and over here I will pass this dot get list title. So now I have called my method, and this method will give me over here two things. First is, now again I will make it an arrow function only. All the syntax I have covered in my React video, that is before this video, that is part 6 I guess. So this is event colon, we'll say of event type will declare any, and then I need the selected value. So data, it will be also type any. So now inside this I want the selected value. So selected title, what I will do, at the top I will declare over here again public selected list title, public selected list title of type string. That's it. Then over here I will pass selected list title, and how I will get it from out of it, data dot inside data dot text, it will be there. So guys, how I came to know that inside data dot text it is there, for that what I did, I simply consoled this data into my browser, and from there I checked it how my data is appearing, the method I showed you in my first method. So you can do the same. From there only I came to know that, but still it is giving me this error, create list item does not, okay, it is giving me the error for create list item. For that we can skip it. Now from here I will pass it selected list title, selected list title. So this is also done. Now the only thing remaining is to write a method and to handle the return property over here. So these two things are remaining. I will go to my service file. Over here I am getting this error, maybe some typo, so I copied, yeah, there was some typo mistake. So now my blueprint is ready, my structure is ready. I have to start writing the code for my create list item. In this I will create list items. So similar things we will do. Now this time whatever the return type will be there, I will handle it from the beginning only, because I have explained you a little bit of concept in my first method. So I told you over here my item will get created and then will be return a message that item created successfully. So definitely my promise return type will be string and it will not be an array, it is a simple message. So this is my return type. So inside this I will come, and if I'm returning a promise, so I have to, if I'm saying my method will return a promise, so I have to return a promise. So return new promise, type string. Inside this two methods of type async, because this is asynchronous, resolve comma reject arrow, then two brackets. My structure is ready. Now I will write my method inside it. So again I have to create the REST API URL. So I'll start. Before that I'll show you something. We'll start with the method. So I have the context dot sp http client dot. This time it is a post method because I am creating an item in my SharePoint list. So I will be passing the headers also. Remember last time we skip it. So post, and in this there are three parameters I told you. One, second is sp http client dot configuration dot v1. This will remain the same, and third will be my headers. So over here I will declare my headers. So I'll say, so this is also done. Now I can see what I need. I need REST API URL and the headers, and then I can go forward. In the headers I will be needing body also this time because I want to create items. So I will be needing headers, then I will be needing body. So 2-3 things I need. So let's construct it over here. First of all we'll start with the URL. So let REST API URL of type string equal to context dot, this time I will use page context dot web dot absolute URL, again plus double quotes slash underscore API slash web slash lists. After that we are getting all the lists, so I have to select the list in which I want to create the item. So method is get by title, get by small, get by title, and title I have to pass in quotes. So I have to take care of that. So what I will do, title I will pass in my bracket, and inside this I need quotes I need. So what I will do, so I should pass my list title within quotes. So what I will do, I'll provide single quotes, and inside this I will pass my value. So to pass the value I will put double quotes, then plus plus. Inside this I will pass the list title which I am passing from my component. So this is my list title. So now my list title will get passed over here, and then last I have to pass the items because I want to create the items slash items. So this is my REST API URL. So REST API URL is ready. You can, if you are already working with SharePoint, so you can test this URL, or if you are new, so what you guys, you can do context. This is your site collection. Just paste this URL in your browser and just you can test it. So it will show you the result. So my REST API URL is ready. Next I want to create my headers and I want the body also. In my list I will be using test list. So in my test list I'm having only title column. I update that. So I have to provide the value for my title column. For that what I will do, constant body, it will be of type string. Now what we will do, we will stringify it, json dot stringify, and inside this I will provide the title colon. I'll say new item created. This will be the value of my title of the new item which will get created. So I've got the body also. So now only this parameter is remaining. So over here I will put it REST API URL, and over here I have to provide the my headers. So first of all I'll start with the, I have to provide the options. So out of three things, two are ready, URL is ready, configuration I provided. So options I have to create. So options I will give it over here. Constant options are of type ISP HTTP client options. So constant I will use options of type ISP HTTP client. So I think I have to import it. So I will go over here. I will pass HTTP client option C because it needs SP HTTP client options. Over here if I have to show you, this is my options. So I'll delete it and comma. So you can see options of type ISP HTTP client options. So I have to give that. So okay, over here I have imported HTTP client option. I have to import ISP. So these are my typo mistakes. Now I think okay, error got fixed. ISP HTTP client option equal to, now this is an I have to provide. So first one will be header. So I'll say headers, and headers value I will provide in this, and next will be my body. So body I have already created, so body is ready. Now I have to provide the headers. In header first I have to provide the accept, and value will be application slash JSON. Oh, and we do not want to provide any metadata. Application slash JSON O data equal to no metadata. No metadata. So this is done. After header I want to provide, after okay, inside accept, after I have to provide content type. So content. So if you guys are getting confused, just give me a moment, let me write this code. You can observe it and then I'll explain you. Content type, because it is really simple. Value will be same, value will remain the same. Application slash JSON or data no metadata in this also, and last one will be OData version. So if I save it, okay, fine. Now I think it is easy to read. OData version, OData hyphen version, and we will keep it as blank. So now my entire code is ready over here, and let me just pass the third property, that is options. Then I will explain you. So guys, this is ready. So I'll explain you what we were doing. I think from here you can understand it. Return new promise string. This you can understand, because this I have explained in my first method also. So context dot, this is fine. This time we are using post. So URL I have already created the, because I want to create a list item. Configuration is fine, and the third one was the options. So inside option it is of type ISP HTTP client option. So it is an array. It is an object. Sorry, it is an object. So this object I will provide headers. Headers is accept, value, content type, data version, and then this body. So this is my header. So now it will take my HTTP request to create the list item, and once it is done, then you know what we have to do. We have to pass the then I will handle that value in my then. So guys, I've created this div, and inside this div I'm just displaying my status. To display the status, I have already told you curly braces this dot state dot status. Inside this I'm setting my state, and now everything is done. Now Gulf service is running, and now okay, I'm getting an error, property status is missing in type. Okay, over here I have to do it, because in the constructor only we initialize. So now hopefully I should not get an error. This is done, because that was setting the state for my first method. So now I should not get an error, and we will go to the browser and we will see the result for this, and then we will see a few small things if required. And after this create get completed, we are left with the update and delete. So what I will do, I will cover the delete first, and then I will cover the update. So now it is giving me a message reload. I'll go to the browser, I will refresh it, and what I will do, I will select a list. I will be using test list. I'll say create list item. I got this message, item with ID 97 created successfully. Okay, so I will go to my list. So guys, you can see successfully item got created. This is my test list, and you can see 97 new item created. If I delete all the items from here, and let's say I click it 98, 99, 100, so 3 items should get created over here. Refresh, and successfully my items are getting created by, because it is running in the context of the current user. So guys, we have successfully created our first item. It just we have to format this message. It should look beautiful. So for that, what I will do, first I will create my 3 buttons over here, and then I have a better idea how should my message should look. So and then I will go and just put the method in my button. So I will quickly go to my tsx file, and I will create the remaining 2 buttons. So it will be easy for to fix the UI things if I want to do. So this is my one button. So I'll just copy paste over here, and I will remove this on click, and I will change the text. So this time text will be update list item, and I will use the same button to do create list item, that is delete list item, sorry, delete list item. So now this is also done. So now let me see how they're looking in the browser, and then we will format this our message div because it should look beautiful. And this is my SCSS file. Okay, and this is my button. So my button is fine. Okay, now I will refresh it. So guys, now you can see I have a better idea because I have to increase this margin left also. If I select this list, let's say test, if I click on create list item, also now I can improve this UI. So guys, I have write some styles over here and then I'll show you. So I'm able to modify the UI of my web part. So what I did, instead of giving the margin left for the button over there, I was giving it was going around 60, but it was also then increasing the gap between my button. So what I did in my styles, that is the parent style. Okay, let me cancel it. You can see over here my parent div, it is using this style. So in this, what I did, I just put the text align center. I just put the text align center and float as left. So now my buttons were appearing in the center. Then margin border radius is fine. My drop down styles remain the same, and I just put this status bar. The status bar which will give me the message. I just give it the background color, increase the margin top and text line center. So these simple styles I have applied. Now I will save my file and I will show you the result, how my styles are looking. It just now, so now I have given the styling for my status bar. Also I have to just apply my styling over here, style dot my status bar. So now this is done. So now I think I have covered how you can work with the SCSS file. Also you can create your styles over here and you can use your styling files over here. So now this is also I have covered, and with this I have completed the styling of all the buttons, my drop down and also my status bar. So now I will see, and then we are left with just the update functionality and the delete functionality. So now let me refresh my screen. So you can see buttons are now coming in a more subtle way. They are looking more beautiful. If I select a list, let's say test list only, I will select create list item, and you can see item with ID 102 created successfully. So now my message also coming in a very good way. So I will keep this as the UI of my web part of this tool, and now I will cover the update and the delete functionality. Also I will give this space between this ID and this between the ID and the created. It is very simple. Over here I will go in my service file, and over here I have to give the space over. That's it. And now my buttons are also ready. So let's start with the update and the delete functionality. So guys, now I will write the delete functionality. We have already created the UI, we have already created the button and styling, all that is done. So now I will directly go to the functionality. So this is my delete button class name text. So now on click I will call a method to delete the item. So this will be my item. First of all I will go to the service.ts file, and over here I will create a method called delete list item. So I will say public, and I will select this method, and I will say delete list item. So in the same way, from here also I need the context. So I will pass the context from my component file, and over here I will copy this web part context. The same method we will call in the same way. We will pass the web part context and the list title, the list which we have selected in a drop down. So list title colon string. So these two things I will pass it from there, and over here I will call this dot underscore special operations. This is my service dot delete list item. From here I will pass the context is in my properties, this dot props dot context comma and the my list title. So list title I have already explained to you how I got the selected list title in my drop down. So I will do it this dot selected list title. So all this I have done it. Now my method is ready. I am getting an error because I told you for passing the parameter. Over here I will make it a arrow function. So now this is fine. So this is the way I am calling a method. This is the same way, just I pass the properties, context and the list title. If I am passing the property, I have to make this as an arrow function. Otherwise if I am not passing any parameters, so I can even do without this arrow function also. Another thing is property, this context I am getting from the web part file, and I am having in my component properties. and selected list title I'm calculating, I'm getting it from above. Like this is my drop down. In drop down I'm on change, I'm calling this method this dot guess list title, and over here at the top I've created this method and I am getting my selected list title. As soon as the user will select the list, this method will get triggered. In the data I will get the selected list item, so I'll say data dot text. So this is fine, method is ready. Now I will go to the service.ts file. I told you I will in this also, once the item get deleted, so we have to simply pass the message that the item got deleted. We don't need to pass anything else. So I'll create a promise for it. This method will return a promise of type string in the same way we did for create list item. So this is also done. Now you know that because this is my third method. So from till now you must have got accustomed to the coding practice, coding style which you are following in this demo. So return simple new promise of type string, and inside this my two methods of type async, and those two will be resolve and reject. These are not methods, these are the my promise type. My promise will return resolve and reject. Async resolve comma reject, and now the arrow function, and now this is also done. Over here I can simply delete my list item. So to delete the list item, again I need the REST API URL. I will call my REST API. In the REST API, I will again use the SP HTTP client dot post, because I am again deleting an item. In the post, I will select. Now to delete a list item, I need the ID also. I need the list and the item ID. List I will get from the drop down. For the ID part, what we will do, I will not either I can hard code it, but I will not hard code. What I will do, every time I will delete the latest item which is present in my list. So let's say I select a list A. Whenever I click on the delete item, it will delete the latest item, the item with the maximum ID which is present in the list, that it will delete. So to get the latest item ID present in my list, for that I will write another method. And so in this I'm just trying to explain you the concept, that is I will write the REST API and then we will delete. So before writing the method to get the latest item ID, let's create this method. So first of all I will create the REST API URL. At the top, let's go and create the REST API URL. Let REST API URL of type string. It's very simple. What I will use, I will use my context dot page context dot web dot absolute URL. So this is my URL plus slash underscore API slash web slash list slash get by title, because I want to select the list from which I want to delete the item in the same way. The same REST API which I created for creating an item, but it just at the end we have to provide the ID also. Okay, so get by title. So what I will do, I will copy the same REST API from here because I've already created. So this is my REST API. It just now I will get everything. I will get my list, selected list I will get. It just at the end I have to provide the item ID also, and I told you for item ID I will write another method which will give me the latest item ID. So what I will do, first of all I will write that method only. Now what I will do, after this method I will write how to get the latest item ID, and I will call that method from inside this get latest item ID, and that will give me the ID, and then I will continue with my delete item. So first of all let's write a method how to get the latest item ID from the selected list. So that is public method get latest item ID. Again in this method I need two things, that is the context and the REST API context and the list title, because I need from which list I want to get the latest item ID. So I will pass these two things. From here I will copy simply, and from that method only I will pass it. So these two things I need, and from here what I will do, I will call this method first of all. So I will call this dot get latest item ID, and from here I will pass, I have got the context and the list title. So now this is done. Now in this method what I will do, I have to get the latest item ID. To get the latest item ID, what I will do, I will get all the items. Then in the REST API URL what I will do, I will provide $top is equal to 1. So it will give me the topmost item, that is single item topmost item, and I will sort the collection by descending order. So what I will and sort the collection in the descending order by ID. So I will get the item with the maximum ID or latest item I will get it. So let's go forward and generate the URL. Again, let REST API URL of string type. So again, context dot web page context dot web dot absolute URL, and after this underscore API slash web, and don't forget to put this slash list slash same URL. It just at the end we will change get by title. For the title, what I will do, I told you in the title I need the codes, and inside this I will provide the list title. So this is my list title. This is also done. So after list title, what I need first of all I will get all the items. So slash all the items, this will give me all the items. Let's say I selected test list, so I get all the items in the test list. Now slash what I will do, order by. So I will provide this value in the form of query string dollar order by equal to ID. So now it will sort my list by ID and in descending order. One thing is this. Then and now second parameter, that is select, I need ID, select equal to ID. And another thing I need before selecting the ID, that is $top is equal to 1, because I need the topmost item. I need a single item. If I say $top is equal to 5, so I'll get the top 5 item. If I say $top is equal to 1, I will get the first item. So this is the URL. Now you can see context.page.web.absolute URL underscore API web list get by title. Till here it is quite understandable that you will get all the item present in the selected list. That dollar order by ID in the form of descending to give me the topmost item, and I need only the ID out of the entire of all the collections. So now this is ready. My REST API URL is ready. I'll go. What I will do now, this method will also return a promise, but it will this time what it will do, it will return a promise of type number, because it will return me integer, that is it will return me the ID. So in TypeScript instead of integer we have number. So this is another concept in for TypeScript. You can note it down that in over here in TypeScript we have number. So I am giving you side by side a lot of concepts about TypeScript also, like we have number, we have let over there, and before that also I gave you various other concepts. So just you can make a note of it. So it will return a promise of type number. Over here same way, return new promise of type number. This is done. Again same async comma resolve comma reject, and over here this is done. Now in this what I will do, I will get the latest item ID. For that I will use context dot sp http client dot. Now over here I will use the get method because I am getting the ID. Dot get REST API URL I will provide, then sp http client dot configuration dot v1, same thing, sp http client dot configurations dot v1. This is also done, and third is the header. So we can, since this is a get request, we can skip the header also, but over, I show you one method in the get list titles. Over here I skip it, so this time I will give you, and like I'm giving you all the ways. Over here what I will do, I will declare my headers here only. If you want to declare it separately at the top, you can do the way I did in this create list item method. In the create list item method I declared this options at the top, and then I directly use in my rest call. So what you can do, so I am giving you all the options, so based on your comfort level you can use it. So over here I will declare inside this method only. So first thing what I have to do, I will declare my headers. My headers are, I will copy my headers from the top because it just I don't want to type again and again. So these are my headers, that's it. So headers are done. So apart from that there is nothing to provide because we do not need to provide any body, nothing. So now what I will do, I think my REST call is ready. So what it will do, over here my get is getting finished, so it will give me the latest item ID. So now I have to handle that. To handle that, I will go to then. Inside then, what I will do, I will get the response. I told you response I will get in the form of SP HTTP client response, and then we will convert it into JSON, and from there I will get my item ID. This is SP HTTP client response. SP HTTP client response is this is done. Now again what I will do, response.json. So you can see basic, it just you have to provide the REST API and all the code remains the same, more or less it remains the same. It just based on your requirement or based on the operation you have to just tweak it a little bit, so it is very easy. So now response.json. okay, first of all I think I did a mistake. Yeah, this is response.json. Now I will go to then, because these are all asynchronous method, so we are handling all the asynchronous call using then. Now inside then I will get my result. Now result will be of type, you can see this time, if you are ever confused about the return type, just declare it as any, it will not give you any trouble. And now this is also done. Over here I'm getting one, I think I'm missing one small step, one bracket or somewhere I'm missing it. It just okay, what I will do, I will just write everything again, because used over here also we are missing something. Okay, so if I okay, I think I'm missing this response.json. I will delete this also, this also. Okay, I will write everything again. This is fine. Dot then, because it is very difficult to find which bracket I missed. Dot then, inside I will create this bracket. Now this is fine, this is fine. Okay, over here what I will do now, first of all, response of type SP HTTP client response, response.json. okay, after that dot then, after then I will get my result. So inside this, okay, now here I will take result of type any. Now I think my code is fine, and inside this what I will do, I will get my item ID. Now how I will get my item ID from out of this result, I told you can just console it, you can just log it using console.log, and then you can see in your browser console, and then you can get it. I have already seen. So what I will do, I will over here from I will resolve it, because using resolve my item ID will get written. And how it will get written, it will return result dot value, if you remember value we are having, and from the first array dot id. So it's pretty much the same like we got the id in the earlier method. So I will get this, and after this I'll put my reject. So over here I will put error of type any, and here you can do reject, and for the reject you will do error occurred. You can handle this exception the whatever way you want. I'm just telling you that in reject you can do that. So now my get latest item method is ready. What it will do, in over here I will get the latest item ID. Over here I will get the latest item ID. So you can see this is very simple. Even I don't think so there's a need to explain this code again. Okay, so what I will do, this will give me the latest item ID. What I will do after that, so over here I will get the item ID. I will say item ID of type number, and then I will use that item ID over here. Now from here I will call my another REST call to delete the item. For that what I will do, again context dot sp http client dot, this time it will be a post request, and 3 parameters I told you, REST API URL. So I will simply use this REST API URL. But after this what I have to do, now REST API URL I have at the top, it is okay, it is saying it needs 3 URL. okay, and the configurations, so sp http client dot configuration dot v1, and the third one is my headers. So this is done, but over here you can see I'm getting all the items, but I need the particular item ID, that is the latest item ID. So what I have to do, I have to append the item ID after this. So what I will do, I'll do this plus, now item ID over here in this item ID I will pass in brackets. So this will be my bracket, and then inside that this plus plus and the item ID. So this will be, this way I will pass my latest item ID. So now this completes my REST API URL. So now my REST API is ready. Now I will go forward and create this HTTP request. Okay, now I will pass the headers. I will pass the headers over here only. So in the header only one or two things will get added. First of all, the HTTP method, that is delete, will get added, so that my browser will come to know that this is a delete request and it will delete the item at this address. And we will put if match, that in that I will put star, and the rest of the headers will remain the same. So what I will do, instead of typing again, at least I will copy this header, complete header I will copy. First see header, I have got it. Now inside header only I will put if match and value will be star, and after that I will put HTTP method and that will be delete. So let's put the value in this, and after this a comma will be there, because of which it is giving me an error. Let's see, if comma match, so I will give star over here, and over here I will give HTTP method. That will be delete. So now my complete REST request is ready. What it will do, it will simply delete the item, whatever the list we will select from the drop down. The latest item ID will get deleted with this code, and it just I have to handle the then part, and in the then part I will return a message, item with this ID deleted successfully. In the component we will display it in the status bar. In fact, even okay, first I will complete it over here only. So let me see where I have to put the then. So this is my post, okay, over here. So dot then, this then part is very simple, dot then, inside this I'm writing it again and again so that you guys get used to it. Otherwise I can do copy paste also, but I will pass it over here. Now one more thing, I will do it over here. See, I do not need to pass anything. See, I will get the response. Okay, I will type response dot HTTP client response, SP HTTP client response. I got this. Now over here I will not do response.json, because I do not need from the response.json I will get the result, but I do not want to fetch anything from the result. What I will do over here, I will simply pass the message, because item ID is also I am having. So what I will do, resolve over here item with ID space, over here I'll say deleted space deleted successfully, and in this I will, in between I will pass the item ID. Item ID also I am having. So this is the simple code. It is much simpler, because over here we do not need to format my response.json. Nothing I have to do. That only I will do if I have to get the result out of the response which I am getting for the HTTP request. And the only part left is my error thing. Error is also simple, of type any. Over here we will do reject. Error occurred. I will say only error occurred, nothing. So now this code is ready. I'm getting some error. Let me see that error, where I am facing an error. Okay, it again got imported, so I will delete this, and I think okay, now my error got resolved. So this is my this is my delete item. In this, the only extra thing was that we have to get the latest item ID. To get the latest item ID, just simple get all the items, sort them by id in the descending order and do $top equal to 1. It returns over here. So I call this method first, get latest item id. It return with this item id, and with the help of that I generated another REST request, and in the header I pass these two things, and then it will delete the it will delete that item, and I'm passing that just the response. So I will go back to my this component file, and over here you can see these things remain the same, because I have to I will just copy it from here only, because I will not write this code again, because in the same status bar I will update it. So this is my delete. So after this, then it will update my status bar with the message that item with this id deleted successfully. So we are done. We will directly go and test our code. So Gulp service is running. We'll wait for the reload message, and I will open the list also. So this is my list. So according to our code, item 102 should get deleted. So let me sort this here also. So this should get deleted. Okay, let's see now. Okay, this is ready. I will refresh my web part. So you can see I will select my list over here. My list is test. I'll say delete list item with id. You can see I'm getting the message. So it is successfully generating the latest item id, deleted successfully. I'll come here, 102 got deleted. So guys, you can see our delete functionality is working perfectly. Even 103 created successfully, 103 deleted successfully. So over here you can see 103 id will not be present, and next time, just to confirm it again, next time if I'll create, directly there will be an item present with id 104. So you can see how flawlessly and seamlessly this tool is working. So guys, we are just left with the update functionality, and again now I think you are very much got used to this code, and now it will be very easy for you. So I will directly go really fast for the update functionality. For the update functionality is just simple. The on click method I will copy exactly the same over here. See, on click, and I will put it into this update method, and I have to just replace my method called update list item. I'll go to my service file. I'll over here create this new item update. So for the update I will use this one only. In the update, what I will do, in the update I will pass the item id. So for this for the update functionality, what I will do, I will copy in the delete method, and I will make change in that, so that because now I am assuming you are used to this code. So what I will do, I'll just copy it, and at the end I will put it. See, and I will make change in this code only. So this is, first of all, over here I will make delete update list item, and then I will change in the component file. So this is my component file. Over here I will call, rest of the things will remain the same, because again it will give us a string and with a message that item got updated. So this is also done. So now we do not need to make change anything in my component file. It just over here I will make change. My REST API URL will remain the same. It just over here I will not use the latest item id. I will pass the item id, because I want to give you the flavor of each and every approach. So I will just check for the item id present in my list. Let's say I will update 99th item, or you can use the get latest item id also, which is present with us. So this time I will use this one over here. Then I will not pass this get dot latest item id. This I do not need to pass. What I want to do is this one, context.sp http client. These headers are there. So let me see till where it is. Then this post is there till here, and then this then is there. From here I will cut, and I will use it. I will cut this code, and I will delete this code. See, now it is fine, and inside this I will paste this code, and in the post I will remove this also. Nothing we need. So it's very simple. You can see REST API URL is ready. REST API URL configuration over here. Instead of delete, now I will get the merge. For update I will pass merge. That's it. If HTTP, all the headers will remain the same. Nothing I have to change. Over here, instead of item, because I'm already passing the item id, I'll say item updated successfully. Nothing I will change. Item updated successfully. This is also done. Only one change it will be there, because over here I am updating the item, that is I will update the title. So the same way in the create, when I was creating the item, I pass the body. So over here also I have to pass the body. So what I can do, I can copy also, but I'll quickly type it. That is st body, yeah, body colon, it will be of type string. Now we will stringify it, json dot stringify, and over here I will simply pass the title. Now title I'll say, and I will give the value to the title. So I'll give title, I'll say updated item, and it is updated item. And over here I have to just pass this body, not inside. Okay, I'm outside header only. Okay, this is my second body, colon body. That's it. Now my code is ready. I should be able to update the item. So you guys, you can see it is really very easy working with REST API, and anything you want to update, delete, create, get the latest item ID. So it is really very easy. I will just show you, and then I will quickly revise the whole demo for you in a very simple and crisp way, so that you get the concept if you miss any. So let's see whether reload is ready. Fine. I'll refresh my file over here. I'll select the list, that is test, update list item updated successfully. I'll get to the item ID. I think I passed 99. See, item updated item. It got updated a few seconds ago, you can see. So guys, the entire functionality, create, update, delete, read, everything is working fine. So congratulations. Today you learn how you can perform CRUD operations in SharePoint with the help of from SPFX using REST API, using SP HTTP client, which we are getting by default in SPFX. So quickly I will revise all the concepts for you, so that if you miss any, you will get it. I will stop this terminal now, because we have already tested everything. So guys, what we did initially, we use over here, we use the Office UI Fabric control. I told you it's very easy to use. You have to just import it at the top over in your TSX file. Over here you import it, and then you can use whatever the control you want to use. You directly can import it. Drop down and button today we have used. Then what I did, I just populate this drop down. So to populate the drop down, this was my drop down, and it accept option as a I drop down option. All the code which I'm writing in my service file, just to make my project more clean, more tighter, and as per the latest actual project standards. So over here I am writing all my methods. That is, I've created another class called SP operation. In this I'm creating this get all list. Over here I'm getting all the list title. I'm not having any context in my service file, so I'm passing it from my component, and in the component I'm getting it from the web part file. So over here this is a simple REST call, and over here I'm getting all the items. Similar way I'm creating item, deleting item. For deleting I'm getting the latest item ID, and similar way I'm updating the item. The only thing to learn over here is use of this context.sp HTTP client, and in this you can see I will show you over here where I have declared all the headers at the top, because over there the code is a bit clean. So you can see over here context.sp HTTP client.post. This is the simple you have to use. Context.sp HTTP client.post URL you will provide. This will remain the same, and options you will provide. After that you will handle the response you will get. It will of type sp HTTP client response. Then in the arrow function you will convert it into response.json, and after you will get the response. Just the best practice is to just log this response in the you will get in the form of result. Just log it and see what you are getting, and based on the response you can just fetch the item as per your requirement. Because I show you how we can fetch it over here. I think I have done it in create list title, yeah, over here. So over here I show you over here, I console it, and this was the most complex one among the all the operations. So I show you this one, how you can log it and use it. So guys, in this demo we saw how to use SP HTTP client, how to use the context, how to use the React state. You see that we are creating this status, and we are updating for all the operations. You saw how we can use the properties. So in this demo we have pretty much covered what we have learned. The theoretical concept what we have learned in part 6 I have covered in part 7 in the form of demo. You learn about React events, how you can pass the parameters. So all those things you have learned. So guys, that's it for today's video. If you like this video, please like and share the video and subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notification for my new videos. If you are facing any issue or if you are having any doubt, you can reach out to us through YouTube comments, and you can also mail us on our official email ID, that is contactdstechmirror@gmail.com. Also, we have created a group over Facebook. You can join that group and we can collaborate over there. And if you want all the updates from the Office 365 world, you can follow me on Twitter. Till my next video, thank you.